Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh, it's getting very serious. We have breaking news coming out of Russia, and it is a major threat. It seems like Putin's anger is spilling over not only at Ukraine and NATO and all of Europe, but he seems to be targeting the people of the Jewish people of Russia, which ultimately affects Israel itself. I want to welcome all of you to another edition here of the Coming Apocalypse here on YouTube. I'm Pastor Paul Begley, and it's an alarm, certainly alarm, as Russians are moving weapons, ammunition into massive nuclear power plant, and Ukraine could disappear. Also, Russia's moving to shut down a Jewish agency that fuels the immigration for Jews to leave Russia. Putin wants to stop the migration of Jews out of Russia. Unbelievable. What is going on? This isn't World War II, but it seems like a replay of 1938. Are we on the brink of Ezekiel 38? Well, I'll tell you about that in just a second. But first, let's put a shout out right now for noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Guys, inflation's at 9.1% and climbing. And you got to need some help. Everybody's going to need help to figure out financial safety. That's why I'm going to ask you to go to noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestments.com. And maybe, or pick up the phone, learn, get some knowledge of what's going on. Look at your 401k. That thing's eroding, and you may need to secure or at least maintain the value of your retirement funds, like your 401k. Pick up the phone and call Colin Plume or one of his associates at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. And if you're quick about it, they're giving away these 1/10 of an ounce gold coins. 1/10 of an ounce gold coin to every qualifying IRA or 401k rollover. That's noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. You'll be glad you did. I guarantee it. Well, guys, it's getting serious, okay? I mean, what can I say? It's getting very, very serious. And really, you knew this day was coming. Russia moving to shut down the Jewish agency, fueling Israeli tension. This isn't good. I'll tell you that right now. Let me just tell you what they're saying. Russia moves to shut down the Jewish agency, fueling Israel's tension. So they're feeling the pressure right now because authorities who align their groups that help immigrants who violate laws. So it's an agency there that helps any immigrants that's in the country that might be violating a, quote, Russian law, or the liquidation of agency would mark worsening ties for Israel. It's also an immigration agency that helps the Jewish people who want to leave Russia and make Aliyah and go to Israel. Russian authorities have asked a Moscow court to liquidate, in other words, close it and sell all of its assets, a prominent group handling the immigration of Jews to Israel. Why would you do this out of nowhere? Because Jews want to get out of there because they sense it. They see the same discrimination. They feel the anti-Semitic ramifications on them from this current Putin regime. And so the agency that handles the immigration of Jews to Israel is in a move likely to raise tensions of certainly in Tel Aviv. The blasphemy, and it almost blasphemy, but it's the blasphemy court scheduled a preliminary hearing for July 28th in this case, which was brought before the Justice Ministry for the alleged violations of Russian law, according to a court spokeswoman. And Russia's Justice Ministry didn't immediately respond to requests for comment, but the Jewish agency and Israel's foreign ministry is also declining to comment right now because it's that volatile. It's so much tension. The foreign ministry said earlier this month it was following the situation and would help the Jewish agency, which in private but has close ties to the government. At the time, the group said it was continuing to operate even as Russian authorities said they found violations in their recent inspections. This is ridiculous. Israel sought clarification from the Russian foreign ministry of the situation last week, and Israeli reports are coming out that it continues, the harassment is continuing on the Jews. Russian President Vladimir Putin relationship with Israel has become increasingly strained, not because of Israel's doing, but because of his doing, since his invasion of Ukraine. Why? Because there's a lot of Ukrainian Jews that are there. And that this has sparked unprecedented U.S. and European sanctions. Now, Tel Aviv has criticized Russia's move, drawing anger from Moscow. In Jerusalem, where the Knesset is, there is absolute major concern for Putin's aggression. The Jewish agency has helped refugees from Ukraine resettle in Israel since the invasion. Russia doesn't like that. This lawsuit is disappointing news, whatever the basis is, and appears to be a step back in relations between Russia and Israel. Guys, just read Ezekiel 38. You'll find out that Putin is not a friend of Israel. And I mean this because of the prophecy in the Bible. He is not a friend, and I'm not just talking about Putin. The Russian regime, communist regime, no communist regime is a friend of Israel. Check your records. There's not one communist regime that is a friend with the nation of Israel. So this is something to keep an eye on. And this isn't the only issue we got. Check this out. If that was all Russia was doing, we would say, well, Israel's seen this many times before, but this isn't the only problem. Major alarm now as Russians move weapons and ammunition into, this is crazy. I can't believe they're even doing this one. But this shows you the concern that's going on. Alarm as Russians move weapons, ammunition into massive nuclear power plant, and Ukraine could disappear from world map. Moscow says. Who? Moscow. So emergency crews respond after this location, the market was shelled by Russian army, and the Russian army was just bombing using tanks. Ukrainian firefighters have worked on the Bakhmut market after it was shelled by Russian army and back yesterday. And Ukrainian firefighters have inspected a crater that had hit the market today by the Russian army right in the marketplace there in Donetsk, Ukraine. Locals cleaned the entrance to their shops after it was shelled by the Russian army. And also, Russians caused panic after moving the weapons of explosives into Europe's largest nuclear power plant. A Russian serviceman patrols the territory of a nuclear power station, and that is where Putin is moving major explosives and ammunition. Russian forces have moved military equipment, explosives, and weapons to the engine room of power unit number 1 at a nuclear power plant, creating a risk of nuclear disaster as part. It could be equal to that of Chernobyl disaster, according to Ukraine's nuclear power plant operators. Also, in a telegram post today, the Russian military has brought at least 14 pieces of heavy military equipment with ammunition, weapons, and explosives to the engine room of power unit number 1. The entire arsenal, this is found at the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. The entire arsenal of heavy equipment with all ammunition is currently located very close to the equipment that ensures the operation of the turbo generator, in particular in the immediate vicinity of the main oil tank, which contains flammable oil that cools the steam turbine. There is also explosive hydrogen, which is used to cool the generator. Wow. And they also said the military equipment had prevented the access of specialized fire engines and other vehicles to the control room of power unit number 1, and that there was a potential for a catastrophic accident. Therefore, the risk of fire increases many times over, and as the extinguishing becomes extremely problematic. If a fire occurs, for example, due to the accidental detonation of ammunition, let's say, then its scale could be equal to one which occurred during the accident of Chernobyl nuclear power plant. So why in the world would you move heavy artillery, ammunition, military equipment, and put it in the engine room with where the nuclear power plant is? Why in the world would you do that? Unless you're doing two things. One, you could be that's where you feel the safest to hide it, because nobody's going to bomb that nuclear power plant to blow up your ammunition. That's one reason. And number two, you're maybe also sending a message of threats, a threat of nuclear annihilation to the Ukrainian people as, again, another ability. That's another way of having a nuclear bomb go off without shooting a nuclear missile off. And that means people wouldn't even see it coming. There would be no way for the world to react. And then you could claim it was an accident. But, you know, what's good news is we found out about it and we're able to share this information. Guys, this is the world we're living in. I'm telling you, we are living in the last days. You can sense it. If you can't see the prophecies of the Bible, of Gog and Magog, and actually even building things up in preparation for the great battle of Armageddon. I mean, the Bible is absolutely on track. The prophecies of the Bible are jumping off the pages now. You can't even hardly keep up with it. His boots scooting, Putin starting the nuking with the shooting. I can say this. He needs to remember, before he makes a move in Ezekiel 38, he better read Ezekiel 39, because when the Lord comes, he will destroy the armies that invade Israel. But before he even reads Ezekiel 38 and 39, you might want to read Ezekiel 37, God's promise to rebirth Israel from the dry bones and to make them a powerful nation in these last days. Speaking of dry bones, here's Rattle from my brand new CD, Harmonize and Prophesy. Are you serious? From Ezekiel 38, 37. Ezekiel 37. Saturday was silent, and surely it was through. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? Friday's disappointment is Sunday's empty too. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? This is the sound of a dry bones rattling. Think about it. This is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Pentecostal fire, stirring something new. You're not gonna run out of miracles anytime soon. The resurrection power runs in my veins too. I believe there's another miracle here in this room. This is the sound of dry bones rattling.
praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bone traveling. My God is able to save and deliver and heal and restore anything that He wants to. Just ask the man who was thrown on the bones of Elisha if there's anything that He can do. Just ask the stone that was rolled at the tomb in the garden what happens when God says to move. I feel Him moving it now. I feel Him doing it now. I feel Him doing it now. Do it now. Do it now. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Yeah, this is the praise making dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling.
Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Prophesy and say to them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up from your grave and bring you into the land of Israel. Then you shall know that I am the Lord, and I will put my spirit in you, and I will place you in your own land, and you shall live. I will place you in your own land. You shall live, 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 live.
This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Yeah, this is the praise making dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling.
Oh, yes. What a powerful song. No wonder Heidi wanted that song recorded on this album. And I said, I don't know how we're going to do it. This is a very difficult song to pull together. It takes some great musicians and just great work to make that happen. But you know what? These guys, they did it, and they did it wonderfully. I'll be back, guys, with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. And don't forget that tonight, Mike from around the world will be with me. It'll be starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, with the Mike from around the world. It will be a powerful program. There is so much going on right now. We need to sound the alarm. Give your life to Jesus Christ. And we really believe we need to get as many people saved as we can. We need to get people to Jesus Christ. we're running out of time, folks. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem and you will prosper. Don't forget to get your tickets for Overcoming. You can get those DVDs. Overcoming Evil, the webinar we did. Those DVDs are in. You can get those now. Order yours today. And don't forget to get your tickets for the upcoming webinar, August 26th and 27th. And that's called Aliens and Fallen Angels. And we're getting the best experts ever to talk about this subject. If the church don't talk about aliens and fallen angels, believe me, the world will. And the ancient alien shows and different types of Hollywood will give a spin on this that will absolutely bring strong delusion. We've got to tell the truth. We've got to give the proper narrative of the seed war that's going on in these last days. So God bless all of you. We love you guys. I'll see it. Johnny says he's already got his ticket. Praise God. So get your tickets today and be blessed. I'll see you later today with more. And don't forget tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern.